Welcome to Bros and Birdies, the new fresh golf podcast where two brothers discuss the upcoming tournaments with a hope to finding you, the golfers, that will find the birdies. We discuss the course, the contenders, the stats, and we hope to provide winners and provide players for your Draft King roster ring. We start this podcast at a momentous occasion. The Masters is back in April. The flowers are blooming and the course is blooming marvellous. As I said, it's bros. So there is me, a Justin Rose lookalike, and my brother, who resembles Jason Duffner. Hello, matey. How excited are you?
Hey, very excited. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, can't wait.
Oh, this is brilliant, isn't it? It just gets the juices flowing. I'm so made up. It's back at steady up. I'm made up. It's back in April. The November thing was just a washout for me. Really, I didn't really enjoy it as much. No fans in the or patrons as they call it.
Get in the hole!
All of that shouting. Although I'm sure it'll be a bit subdued this year with limited numbers, but we'll see. Yeah, but right, super excited.
The 265s and a bit of procession from DJ in the rescheduled one. I don't know. It was like you said. It was a bit of a washout. I didn't really enjoy it myself. But the furore surrounding Bryson and his approach, saying it was a 68 for him, the par of the course. How does he approach it this week?
So interesting how he approaches it. I watched his interview yesterday and was amazed at how he rethought his approach for this year, and that he doesn't class it really as a par 67 or a par 68 for him. In fact, he jokingly said he thought his par was 74 based on the last couple of performances. So it'd be really interesting. But I think reading between the lines, he's still gonna try and boom it down those par fours and take that, short game approach to the course, and whether it pays off or not, it'd just be interesting to see. But he's exciting for sure.
Oh, come on. Yeah, he is exciting. And in 2019, he shot a 66 in the first round, including 9 birdies, But I'll talk a bit more about him later because he might just be one of my tips. Anyway, as you know, they have a champions dinner. Now, if you won the Masters and you were asked to pick a menu for the following year, what would be on your champions dinner menu?
Oh, come on. You know I'm really simple when it comes to food. I love my food. But
we know that. If anyone could see you, we'd know that.
And you can't see me, thankfully. But no, I'm quite simple on that. I'm not about this over elaborate rubbish that DJ's come up with this year. For me, it would be a simple bowl of soup or a prawn cocktail to start, and then a nice big wacky cheeseburger for main, and maybe a mint choc chip for pudding. Something like that.
Mint choc chip.
Yeah.
After 8, more like it. Right. Well, this Masters dinners menu this year, DJ loves his sandwiches, he said. But this year's menu for me is Beauty and the Beast. Imagine a restaurant where the super rich can line their gold-coated stomachs with the poached liver of a mermaid, whilst watching the poor chew on the arsehole of a beaten-up skunk. The skunk really pissed me off. A gang of rats. Anyway, that's a different story. But anyway, pigs in blankets he's going to start with, right? With lobster. Fuck off, DJ. Pork and fish. What do you reckon to that?
Pork and fish. It's mental. Absolutely.
Sounds like
mental.
A website I don't want to visit. And then he's got a house salad or a Caesar salad. Come on, the difference. A piece of stale bread in oil. Just say it, DJ. You crouton sucking, tobacco chewing, gangster walking, sexy bitch. Come on, it's just the same. It's a salad, is it? Is it not?
He is sexy DJ though, isn't he? He walks like it.
Oh, we could play your music, could he? All right, and then he's got mashed potatoes and spring vegetables. Winter veg wouldn't make any sense, so let's just say veg, for God's sake.
Veg.
And then he's got
veg.
filet mignon and miso marinated sea bass. Wow.
Say that again?
I would sell filet mignon and miso marinated sea bass. I would sell my right testicle to get this meal. Jokes on anyone who buys my right testicle, as this one is a bit smaller and has caused more problems than a dyslexic in a spelling contest. And then to finish, he's got a peach cobbler with ice cream. What the fuck is a cobbler? Peach cobbler. If it's the same as over here in the UK, they're shoving a peach in a shoemaker's mouth. I know he's from the deep south, but a bit weird, DJ. And after all that, it's safe to say the winner will be whoever can digest that lot the quickest. Anyway, away from the menu, it's making me hungry. the weather. It looks ominous, mate. Have you seen the forecast?
Yeah, I have different views really around the weather. If you listen to different sort of publications around that, but I think we might have a little bit maybe on Friday. I think Thursday's not looking too bad. Maybe a little bit of rain. Friday could be the disruptive day. It has the potential, obviously, to take us into a Monday finish. But you know what they're like at Augusta. They like to shuffle stuff around to try and get that Sunday finish. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the gods will be looking down on the Augusta course and they'll be fair to us. But yeah, don't like it when there's weather delays. Interrupts my viewing.
Oh, I don't want it to be soft and receptive.
No,
I want the greens like glass. I want people to be slipping on as they're walking up. I want the balls running all the way down into little hollows and tough little chips too close to the green.
Did you hear that story in 2007 about, I can't remember who it was, poured a bottle of water on one of the greens and it literally just ran down the green, didn't even soak in to the surface and stuff, and that's because the greens were so hard. They're talking about it being as hard this year up until start of play, and maybe a little bit of rain. But with their sort of sub-airflow systems that they've got, moisture could be taken out and they get back to quick greens fairly quickly. So let's hope so. Looking for a really tight score. None of this -18, -20 rubbish. Make it interesting.
No, we don't want that, do we? We want it to be like, what is it, top 50 in ties? They've changed it, didn't they? They changed it last year. So top 50 in ties. Let's get them all through. Let's get barely anybody in the red. But, we don't want it to be the USGA style rubbish. But we shall see. Anyway, some interesting tee times. Kicking it all off in Group 1. Drum roll, please. Michael Thompson and Hudson Swafford.
Oh, what an intro! Yeah, I'll be up for that one.
Mate, we might need a Monday finish.
All over it.
Might need a Monday finish. These guys could take all bloody day. It's going to be a nightmare.
At least
but it can only get better. Yeah, it's a 2-ball, but still, come on. No one wants to watch that. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it gets better. Group 11, one of your favourites, Bubba, with bad back. Brooks. No, he hasn't got bad back, he's got bad knee.
Isn't it? It's a hand and a knee, I think, with Brooks, I think.
Jesus Christ, what is he, the bionic man? He's got a bad back, isn't he? He's bad knee. Rose has got the bad back. Sorry, we digress. But anyway, it's Brooks, Bubba, and Hovland. Great round. I love the Norwegian. Hits that ball so well, does he not?
He's a great player, Hovland. Yeah, superb. I think with some of the range of shots that he's got, and we know what Bubba can do, moving it left to right, right to left, and it'll be an interesting 3-ball. I think it's certainly one of the ones up there.
Yeah, looking forward to that. The young amateur Strafaki, he's going to have a great time, isn't he, with DJ and Westy?
DJ and Westy. I mean, seriously, you couldn't get any two more laid back if you tried. So it should be great introduction for the young lad.
God, laid back. DJ almost looks like he's asleep, for God's sake.
Oh, he could disappear up his own arse, couldn't he? He's like, yeah.
Jesus Christ, I'm sure he'd love that. Great 2 days for the young amateur, though. Best group of the day has to be Xander, Rahm and Rory, does it not?
Oh, yeah, that's a mouth-watering 3-ball, that is. And certainly it's got my 5-star pick in it, and I know we'll come to that. But, yeah, looking forward to that one.
No. Rory and Rahm can discuss baby stories and Xander can just get bored, I guess. Then you got your Scott, Bryson and Homer. You've got the big fella with the broomstick. Then you've got the boom, boom Bryson. And then you've got the man full of confidence, Twitter's superstar of golf, Max Homer. Love that. I actually really like that group. It'll be interesting to see how they all play it. Then you got Finau, Oosthuizen and JT. Finau, he just flatters to deceive, does he not?
Always. I mean, he's there or thereabouts, and you think he's going to break through, and then he just throws in a couple of awful rounds. I think he's a great golfer. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, he's a habitual throw the towel in, and then you've got someone like Louis Oosthuizen. He relaxed, really great guy. Loves Augusta as well. Be interesting to see how he plays this year. He hasn't really played that well this year so far.
On JT, I know JT won recently, but his driving has been a bit off, and a lot of people fancy him. I just can't see him. I just can't see it this week.
I mean, JT's an interesting one. Let's just talk about maybe some leading light highlights, I can kind of pick out and stuff. If you look at some of the top players, let's just go through some of them in terms of their last 3 visits to Augusta. You got DJ, who's had 11 of 12 rounds under par. That's an impressive record. And I know, obviously, 4 of them in November, different type of Augusta and stuff. Can you really take that into account? But nevertheless, it's still impressive. JT, as you talk about, he's had 3 of 12 rounds in the last 3 visits that have been par or worse. That's an okay record. And, he's maybe one of those players that hasn't quite fathomed Augusta just yet, but maybe is on the verge of that breakthrough. Undoubted talent, and his win at the Players was just absolutely brilliant. And from a punting perspective, I was all over it. So, made up with that. Spieth, what can we say about Jordan Spieth? I mean, he's come into some fantastic form. Again, last 3 years, 4 of 12 rounds, par or worse. Bryson
likes it here.
Yeah, I mean, Spieth loves it here, doesn't he? I mean, I think Eddie Pepperell said on Twitter, if Spieth doesn't win it, he'll play around topless in his next tournament or something like that. So that'll be interesting. But
I know the way his hair's been growing out, that'll cover his nipples. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, Pepperell, you got to love him, haven't you? And then Bryson, a poor record here. I think over the last 3 visits, 7 of 12 rounds, par or worse. So you really got to question whether his approach is the right one for Augusta. Is he going to get bitten again? Jon Rahm, 2 of 12 rounds, par or worse. To me, that's just as impressive as DJ. Rory, similar, okay, 3 of 12 rounds, par or worse. And then Koepka, as we've already referred to, coming back from that injury, the recovery from an operation so quick, 2 of 12 rounds, par or worse.
Dislocated his kneecap. I've just looked it up again. Yeah. Dislocated his kneecap, and he did ligament damage. Now, I'm sorry, Augusta, as you and I both know, we've both played it. We were so lucky to play it about a few years ago. And it's a tough course to walk, not only play, but it's a tough course to walk. And will that knee hold up? The twists and turns of his shots. I just don't think he will. I think he's playing for his sponsors and what have you. I think it'll be a withdrawal.
Yeah, I think it's too much, really, to be honest with you. That's a major surgery. It's got to be a risk. And last but not least, mate, let's talk about Tommy Fleetwood. We love it. We love an old English, and Tommy Fleetwood, he's got a great record here, but he's got a habit of throwing in a really poor last round when in contention. If he can get rid of that,
can you imagine his locks of his hair just caressing the back of that jacket? The brown on the green. It would just, it looked majestic.
Better than chocolate.
I just got turned on, and that's a bit weird. Anyway, yeah, we love Fleetwood. It's a tough one. I don't know. He's ups and downs. He throws in a few bad shots and what have you. You were talking about, Bryson's chances and whatever. You can't get away from that. He shot 66 in the first round 2019. So he has the ability to play this course well. His high draw will suit this course. And obviously he's a great putter. We know that. He takes a lot of time over his putts, much to the dismay of some other people. But he gets it right. And do you know what? I love him. I just can't get away from him. But again, we'll come back to our tips pretty much at the end. So you've given us all the stats. You are the stat man. I love your research you do, and you send me your spreadsheets with the research, and I get excited Monday and Tuesday when they come through the mailbox.
I'm glad you get excited when that comes through. That's really encouraging. I put in the effort, and it's all there. It's all there. You just got to pick it out.
You're doing well, and people are going to find when they listen to Bros and Birdies, or go on our Twitter page at Bros Birdies. They'll see our options, our picks. They'll see your picks and why we're doing them. And do you know what? I think people are going to love it. But, there's a betting option that people love at the moment. It's first round leader, right? Any fancy, you've got Spieth, Smith and Morikawa, last group coming in Thursday, and then first group out Friday. Spieth for the first round leader? What do you reckon?
Spieth has always been up there. I think, in 2018, he was first round leader with a 66. I think, he's definitely going to be up there, and he's riding the crest of a wave right now. But for me, I love this first round leader market. In fact, end of round leader, that there's a market now. I love it on Bet365, and I think there's some really good options, great value. But I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you Justin Thomas. At 18-1, he is an early round scorer at Augusta. There's no doubt about it. The stats tell us that, and I think he's definitely someone who could be up there. But the other one, I'm going to give you, and you may laugh at this one and stuff, but he's not been in the greatest of form this year. He loves Augusta. He was in 2018. He did, I think, maybe the second round lead or something like that. But at 80-1, Mark Leishman has got to be worth a little bit of a dabble on that one. So my first round leader, two picks are JT and Leishman.
JT and Leishman 80-1.
Yeah, I think it's massive. It's yeah, I do.
I just can't see it. I don't like him. I don't like him. He's boring as hell. I know, not for me. But hey, you're entitled to your opinion. This is what it's all about. This is Bros and Birdies. And by the way, we are sponsored by Oxygen. Everybody needs oxygen. And if anyone wants to sponsor us properly, then we are available for sponsorship. Get in touch on our Twitter page at Bros Birdies. Right, what are we going to talk about now, mate?
Well,
what about holes? What about your favourite holes?
Right,
everyone,
I'll tell you
Augusta.
What, yeah,
holes. Give me yours and I'll give you mine.
Everybody loves Amen Corner. For me, though, I get a little bit bored with Amen Corner and the coverage of it. I actually think that the best holes for me, are, love the par 3 12th, love 13. 12 through 15 for me really is what changes the course of a tournament, certainly in the back nine on a Sunday. Those two par 5s, 13 and 15 as well. But most of all, 16. Love 16. Love a bit of a dabble on the old Sporting Index spread, hole-in-one markets. You can get a couple of throws up there, but when they have that pin position on that Sunday, it's just amazing. Love watching those shots coming in. But yeah, 16's my favourite at Augusta, but I do like that stretch 12 through 15.
I reckon 16's your favourite because that moment when Tiger Woods' little chip got the grip, rolled down the hill, perfect for sponsors. By the way, we're sponsored by Oxygen. Perfect for the sponsor as that ball just tippled in with a Nike badge. Did it just do it? It just did it. It went in. The crowd went wild, and that's Tiger all over. And he's going to be missed, is he not? We're talking about him.
I love Tiger. Tiger is my hero. Followed him obviously for years amongst many millions of people. But yeah, it's such a shame to not have him there. And obviously, everybody wishes him the best of luck with his recovery. Will he ever get back to playing, let alone at Augusta? Who knows? But yeah, we're going to miss him for sure. But that's 16th. That shot. That was the weight of the world pulling that into the hole, not just everybody that was at the course that time. Everybody on TV, captivating footage.
I know his driving's been awful, but that was taken.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
Thank you. Anyway, one of my favourite holes, right, is number 2. I love number 2. Number 1, pretty straightforward. Some people taking driver, longer hitters taking a 3-wood. Pretty straightforward hole. But number 2, it's called Pink Dogwood. Love that. Sounds like a sexual term. But anyway, it's a par 5. It's 575. And historically, it plays around a 4.7, so under par. So it's a good opportunity to get your round off to a good start. Reachable in 2 for the big hitters.
Definitely.
Bunker on the right of the fairway, scoops downhill, dogleg left. Now you can run it through, sneak it through those bunkers, and it sort of feeds when that pin is just behind the bunker on the front right of the green. Oh, mate, I love that. Any other holes?
Yeah, I mean, all of them really, to be honest with you. Yeah, the ones I've mentioned,
all
16, we love all of the holes at Augusta. Come on, let's sit there. It's like, I'm surprised I'm not divorced, to be honest with you. My missus, she hates me when the Masters is on. I just don't, I ignore everybody. I'm at the telly, on the phone, everything. But every hole for me, but in particular.
She told me she loves the Masters because she doesn't hear from you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You were talking about Amen Corner, 11, right? It's called White Dogwood. So we had Pink Dogwood. Now we've gone paler to White Dogwood. Right, par 4. Do you know what it's playing historically? Right,
got to be over par.
Just over par. 4.061 historically over par. Water guarding the left-hand side of the green. usual bailout front right into that little swell. Yeah, it's really it sort of targets your chipping game. You're up and down when you're in that swell. I love it.
Oh, it's definitely one of
Requires
those
two
holes
great
that, yeah,
connections.
it can change. It can change your course, as you're getting into the front end of Amen Corner. And yeah, I mean, if you don't get that drive right, you've potentially got some trouble. Not a lot of balls in the water the last couple of years, though. I think it's, but yeah, it's interesting to see. It's a hole that plays over par. I can understand that.
Well, you're 16. Do you know what it historically plays?
Just a shade over 3.
Yeah, just historically over par. And the lowest it ever played was in 2014 when it was 2.9. So under par in 2014. So what a great year that was for the 16th hole. Right, let's move on. Any more stats you can tell our listeners about?
Any more stats? I think we've been through most of them. The first round leader market we've talked about. There's a lot of people up there that could be in with a shout for sure, and maybe the later starters on the Thursday are probably going to be the ones that might have a little bit of the best of the course. Certainly with maybe the weather projections and stuff. But no, I think, there's so many stats out there. You could look at it forever and a day. And I think we've given some really good ones to think about.
Okay, fair enough. Well, some of the other tipsters around the world, and we'll start in this country first. Ben Coley, love him. Does his research, his write-ups are phenomenal. Absolutely amazing tipster.
Yeah.
But he's pulling up no trees with his picks here. He's gone JT, Rory, Casey, Day, and Siwoo later. And then you've got Steve Palmer, who's gone JT as well, with Cameron Smith, I do like. But then he's gone for 2 left-handers in Harman and Phil. I don't know, JT, what is it with people seeing this JT thing? I just don't get it. So run me through, mate. Run me through your tips. I want your tips. I want your picks, your favourite picks, your outsiders.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go for it. Right. So my 5-star rating this week, it may be an obvious pick for most. I've got a little bit of a concern with it, but I've still gone with a 5-star. It's Jon Rahm. I think, the stars are aligned. I think, he's obviously just had a new baby boy, or rather his wife has. But he's there. He loves Augusta. He is primed for a major breakthrough. There's no doubt about it. His Augusta form.
He did look like he was carrying a baby himself.
No, yeah, he's a big fella, guy. But his Augusta form, it's impeccable. It really is. And his 2021 form, he's had 5 top 15 finishes. Okay, he's come close on some occasions, not quite got there. That whole duel with Dustin Johnson last year and stuff, it was absolutely crazy, those sinking of those long-range putts. But he loves Augusta. He's ready to go. My concern has to be that he's only turning up at the course today. That's a big concern. You're going to get one practice round in there. But that might be a blessing in disguise, not having all of that kind of the Augusta rigmarole going there every day. And, they're not having the par 3 tournaments and stuff. And maybe he's going to come there fresh. He's going to have that, that huge relief and that weight lifted off his shoulder of, was he playing, not playing kind of thing. But he's going to be there, and he's my 5-star and he's my big bet for the week.
In 2017, he was tied 27th. 2018, tied 4th. 2019, tied 9th. Last year, tied 7th. Yeah. Lots of sub 70. Yeah, I can see why you're picking him.
No, I mean, he's short at 12-1. There's no doubt about it. But I just think, everything's lined up with him. We obviously saw the Danny Willett effect, being a new father, and kind of came through. It's there. It's happened, and he's got to be ready. And he wanted to play this year. He told everybody, "Don't back me yet, because I don't know whether I'm going to be at Augusta or not." But he's here. He's big. He's in with a chance.
You just said Danny Willett. Jesus Christ, he's not the best looking fella in the world. It reminds me of a comment when in an interview when someone said, "Peter Crouch, if you weren't a footballer, what would you be?" And his reply was, "A virgin." Now, it just goes to show you talent in sport and a bit of money can take you a long way. And that is the case for Danny Willett. Anyway, digress. Carry on.
So random. Right, here we go. So Jordan Spieth again. I'm going to give him a 4-star rating this week. Again, it seems like an obvious one, but it is his form. he's coming into form for sure, and he's an obvious pick for many. And he loves Augusta, but I'm going to keep that really short and sweet. I've got a couple of other big ones I'm just going to throw out there. You've already referred to him, Max Homa, lovely win at the Genesis. That's a big tournament there at Riviera. Great breakthrough. Plus, he's had 5 other top 25 finishes. His form is impressive. And maybe he's just a little bit of a squeak. That's 66-1, slightly bigger odds, Max Homa. And then the other one is Corey Connors. He had a 7th at the Players. He had a tied 14th last week at the Valero. Shows he's in form.
Well.
He had a tied 10 at Augusta last year, albeit in November. But Corey Connors is playing some really good golf at the moment. And 55-1, again, not massive in terms of outsider, but 55 and 66 is Connors and Homa for me are my 2 outside picks this week. What about yourself?
The prices aren't massive, are they? Really, I've been looking at the markets, and I think the bookies have trimmed a lot of them. There's no massively overpriced. I think the bookies have got it spot on. Their books are all in the green.
Yeah.
But yeah, me 5-star. I said it. I love it. It hurts me sometimes. I'm going to go for it. I take a lot of abuse on social media about it. But Bryson DeChambeau. He made the cut last 3 years. Yeah, he hasn't played it phenomenally well. He shot 66, as I've mentioned, numerous occasions in the first round, 2019. Has the high draw, is a great putter. Learned his lesson from last year, I would hope so. Has shown a lot more sense on the golf course of late. He won the Arnold Palmer and he was tied 3rd in the Players. Match play wasn't great, but I don't think anyone turned up in that match play, to be honest with you. It was a bit of a letdown, the whole tournament. That's another discussion.
It really is, isn't it? I mean, JT came out yesterday, said he hates the match play, absolutely hates it, and it's not indicative of the form he's in at the moment. So I think it's the same for many of them.
It was horrible to watch, to watch, right? So I'm going. It's a terrible price. It's 11-1. You can get top 8, 5th of the odds. You're getting roughly a 2-1 winner if he finishes in the top 8. I think Bryson out of the top 8, I can't see that. I think you'll be a bit more conservative. If it's a nice hard track, then he won't have to do his boom drives all the time, but I can see him pulling out that big one, and there's talk of him getting a new driver on the course for this week, so we'll see on that. Next one, Yingdang Sunjae Im. Could he was 2nd last year. His driving accuracy is top. His putting stats are great. His shots gained off the tee, we're looking at 0.723. That's high. I like him. He's been playing well of late. 35-1. Again, 5th of the odds. You're looking 7-1 winner top 8. I think he's got a great chance.
You are a Sunjae Im lover, aren't you? I mean, it's even your avatar.
Just a rumor, mate. Just a rumor.
On the golf app. You are Sunjae all over. But yeah, I can understand that.
I like a Chinese buffet, all you can eat. I'm in there. I don't even think he's Chinese, is he? But there you go. The other one, God, this is heart, right? This is not head. This is heart. It's not the man from Dallas. It is JR. It's Justin Rose.
Rosie.
He's got his. I had anti-post on him, right, at 90-1, and he's 80-1 now. And I know he's got a bad back, and he's had a bad back, and he's a bit of a doubt this week. But do you know what? He just showed before his back injury, he was coming into a bit of form. His putter was working again. He was striking the ball really, really well. He's a thinker around the golf course. He's got a great up and down game. Do you know what? I want him to do well. I want him to come back. Yeah, it's a very tentative bet because of his back. And, he's 80.
We love Rosie.
I'm going to have a little.
We love Rosie. You love Rosie.
Look,
your dog's called Rosie. It's written, mate. It's absolutely written.
And I look a bit like Justin Rose. We both got a nose that wouldn't look out of place in a bar mitzvah. But, or we could both smoke in the shower. Either way, we've got a big nose. Do you know what? You talk about first round leaders, right? I'm gonna throw up some 72 hole matchups.
Go for it.
This is a fourfold, and it's 12.3-1. It works out fourfold. Hideki over Scheffler. Come on, all day long. Scheffler is so random. He hits some awful shots. He'll be out of bounds more times you can know it. He'll go on a 3 birdie run, and everything will look grand and it'll look fantastic, and then he'll go out. No, not for me. Hideki, straight down the middle. Your regimental man. 5-6, right, for him to beat Scheffler. Then we got Wallace and Leishman. You were talking about Leishman? No, Wallace is playing amazing. He says his game's in an absolute spot-on place right now. It's Wallace over Leishman. Then it's Fleetwood. It's a battle of the Englishmen here. Fleetwood over Fitz. Fitz has been playing okay. Understand that. Don't think Augusta suits his game, in my honest opinion. Fleetwood's playing a bit better. Has that around the green. His chips, mate, is sublime. The way he puts that wedge through the ball, just caressing the grass while his hair flocks underneath that.
You stop going on about
anyway.
His hair.
Oosthuizen over Scott. Oosthuizen loves this track. Scott, I just hate him because he uses that long putter. It should be banned. It's totally illegal. I hate it. Oosthuizen, 10-11. Fourfold, 12.3 to 1. Other one I want to talk about, first round 3 balls. Here we go. There's some random ones here because you've got Zalatoris, with Langer and Joe Long, the English amateur. All right, 4-6 for Zalatoris. I'm sorry, Langer cannot continue to play like he does at the Masters. Every year, though, he's taking more cod liver oil tablets. Not having him. 4-6. Jason Day over Wolf and Champ. Don't get me started on Wolf. I hate that swing. He swings that golf club like he's awful, Elvis. That knee is all over the place. He's all shook up. Day 6-5 in that 3-ball. Hovland over Bubba and Brooks. Brooks we know because of his knee. Hovland very consistent. Bubba fantastic, but a bit wayward. 13-8. And then here's one for you, right? CT Pan played here recently quite well. Bobby McIntyre, the jock, big boy, likes his deep fried Mars bars. First time, right? I think he's going to struggle a little bit. But another left-hander, Mike Weir, right? He's been playing all right on the Seniors Tour. Loves it around Augusta. And he's 3-1 to beat those two in a 3.
Who was the first one?
That fourfold.
Who was the first one?
Mike Weir.
Mike Weir to beat McIntyre and who?
Mike Weir to beat CT Pan.
Right, okay, yeah.
Day to beat Wolf and Champ. Clitoris to beat Langer and Joe Long. And Hovland to beat Bubba and Brooks. 37.5 to 1, fourfold, first round 3 balls. There you go. Any other bets?
Got to perm them up. I'll tell you what, I'm loving this this little treble I've got for these top category markets. Yeah, here's the treble I'm going to go with on this one. So top Asian, Siwoo Kim. Siwoo? I Siwoo.
Oh, Siwoo later. Siwoo later.
Absolutely. Love Siwoo Kim. And he's 7-2 to be top Asian. What's his threat? Sung Jae Im. I know you love him, but yeah.
All day long.
Siwoo for me. Here we go. Back to being a Mark Leishman lover. Top Australian. 5-1. I think it's value, over Scott and Day. Day loves Augusta. There's no doubt about it, but I think Leishman loves it more. And he's 5-1.
Mate, it's day and night. It's day and night. Day all over Leishman.
It's controversial, but it is what it is. And here's one. Top Canadian. 4-7.
Celine Dion.
Corey Connors. Back on the Connors ride. Wow. But who's the other Canadian to beat him? Hughes. Mackenzie Hughes. I mean, come on. 4-7. That's maybe even a single bet in its own right to be top Canadian the way he's playing at the moment. But,
Mike Weir.
Golf. Yeah, no, scrub Weir. But it's, for me, it's a lovely treble and it's like 42 to 1 for me. And I'm all over it.
Nice. Well, do you know what? I think we've covered all the bases. Do you know what? There's another base I want to cover. Did you know where Cabrera is? He's not playing this week. Do you know where he is?
Angel Cabrera, isn't he a drug baron back in Argentina?
No, he's not even in Argentina, Graham. He's in a prison in Brazil.
Oh, something to do with, was it fraud or something like that? Or
there's a warrant out to return him or whatever it is. He apparently beat up his girlfriend and there's some sort of theft charge. And anyway. He's in a prison in Brazil. Angel Cabrera.
I wonder whether he'll get to watch the Masters.
I doubt it. I don't think there's any.
Reminiscing over his famous Augusta.
I think I backed him.
Whilst
I backed
being
him.
Rogered in the jail. Who knows?
Oh, hello. Immelman not playing. Where's he?
Immelman back in South Africa commentating.
Where is he? He's not playing anymore. No, he's turned down a chance to go and play.
He's getting more money commentating, isn't he? He's big into commentating now.
Hey, DraftKings.
Love DraftKings.
We love We love DraftKings. Shout out to DraftKings. We are looking for a sponsor. We're only sponsored by Oxygen. Everyone needs oxygen. But yeah, DraftKings. We're going to have our picks this week. Do you want to go with yours?
First. I've got 2 lineups this week. I've gone, with a more obvious lineup that I really do think will score points, and then maybe a lineup without, the impressive kind of Rahm, JT, DJ kind of picks, that kind of thing. But my DK entry, here we go. The first 6: Spieth, Rahm, Westwood, Victor Perez, Leishman, and Connors. That's my first 6. My other 6.
Oh,
that's a solid 6 for me. And I've spent a bit of time getting over this one. And Rahm and Spieth for me, I think, could be top scorers. Massive point accumulators. But here we go with the other 6. Just before you get onto yours, Max Homa, Colin Morikawa. Everybody's talking Morikawa up massively at the moment. Victor Hovland, Joachim Neiman, McIlroy and Connors. Connors in both of them. I've gone big on Connors and I might get burnt. A Canadian burn.
Oh, no, there's no worse burn, I don't think. No worse burn, just as the Americans. Yeah, Colin Morikawa, 9.6 for his, the salary price. I don't know. I've gone obvious. DeChambeau. He's high. He's 5 top 10s, blah, blah, blah on DraftKings. Jordan Spieth. Zach Johnson, steady as you want. I want 6 through. I want 6 through making the cut. You can't win anything without 6 through making the cut. So I'm looking at that specifically. Lefty. I think Lefty will play well this week. I think he's played well. He loves the course. I think he's just chilled out a little bit.
Do you know what? He was nearly in my side, bro. Lefty.
You love him.
He's like, he's my crush. If I was the other way, it would be Lefty. But
well, it had to be 2-way. How would he feel?
He might feel good.
So yeah, DeChambeau, Spieth, Mickelson, Zach Johnson, Tommy Fleetwood, and Sun Jai.
That's not a bad lineup,
right? 6 to get me through to the weekend. 6 to get the points going. If anyone picks Brooks Koepka, you must have, he's very expensive, and you must have your head seen to with a dislocated knee and ligament damage. So come on.
Well,
so there we go.
Right, with these
anyone's
DKs,
playing DraftKings.
You know how close we've come this year. I mean, it was only a couple of weeks ago on the European Tour event. I was leading, and we were messaging each other, and I was kind of ended up flip flopping and being about 12th in the end. So it's kind of, but we love our DKs, great tournaments. But yeah, they're great lineups. They are. Looking forward to them.
Well, if they stopped, recently, if they stopped the DraftKings after round 1, I'd be a millionaire by now.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I need to get these boys through to the weekend. So there you go, everyone. There's our DraftKings picks. You've had our betting choices. We've had lots of different betting options, from 72-hole matchups to category plays to outrights to first round 3 balls. We've got it. And now all that's left for us to say is bring on Augusta tomorrow. Bring on the Masters.
Enjoy it, everyone. Have fun. Sit by the telly, have a beer, have a burger, enjoy the golf.
And if you're a vegetarian, have a cauliflower or something. But hey, join us next week for the next episode of Bros and Birdies. We'll discussing the tournaments. We'll sort of reviewing what happened in the 4 days, or maybe 5, at Augusta. I just can't wait to speak to you all again. And Graham, it's been an absolute pleasure. You've been Graham. I've been Craig. We've been Bros and Birdies. Join us next week.
Cheers, mate.